Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah wa man ittaba hudahu ila yawmiddin. Amma ba'd, brothers and sisters in Islam, wherever you are, we inshallah in this session we are also continuing some of the manners and some of the etiquettes related to the Eid. Among these etiquettes is bathing before going to the Eid. One should take a shower and bathe. Nafi' radiallahu anhu said that Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhuma used to bathe on the day of Fitr before setting out to the Musalla. And we know, and this is in Muwatta Imam Malik, it is authentic hadith. And we know that Abdullah ibn Umar is one of the followers of the Prophet ﷺ, who loves to follow the Prophet ﷺ, and strictly. So had he not seen the Prophet ﷺ or heard that the Prophet ﷺ did so, he wouldn't have done such a thing. So it is a sunnah that one bathe on the Eid day, as usually in Islam. All the gatherings, like Friday, Eid, Muslims, they bathe and they wear the best clothes and they wear perfume as well. So they look very nice, and the smell is so pleasant, and then they go to the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to meet their Lord. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as you know, said, خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ masjid, that we are obliged and obligated to be presentable when we are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So bathing on the Eid, it is sunnah. Bathing on the Eid, it is sunnah, so it is something recommended. Then the second thing I would like also to shed light upon is there a sunnah before and after Eid prayer? The answer, no. There is no sunnah neither before nor after. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu reports, and this hadith is in Bukhari and in Tirmidhi, that the Prophet ﷺ prayed 2 rak'ahs on the day of Fitr, and he did not pray before or after this. So there is no sunnah for the Eid. That's why we go to the Musalla and we sit immediately. No sunnah. You find many Muslims, they are praying. That is not correct. That's not the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So we go to the Musalla and we sit and we carry on making the takbir. But if the salah is in a masjid, it's different. If the salah of the Eid is going to be conducted in the masjid, then you are obliged and obligated to pray 2 rak'ahs, which is known as Tahiyyatul Masjid. Because the Prophet ﷺ, as it is known to you, he said, إِذَا دَخَلَ أَحَدُكُمُ الْمَسْجِدِ فَلَا يَجْلِسَنَّ حَتَّى يُصَلِّي رَكْعَتَيْنِ. So when you enter the masjid, you should not sit down before praying 2 rak'ahs. This is if the Eid is in the masjid. And this 2 rak'ahs is not the sunnah of the Eid, because we know the Eid has no sunnah. Okay? The same thing for Friday prayer. There is no sunnah before Friday prayer. The sunnah of the Friday prayer is after. So when I enter the masjid on Friday, I pray only 2. That is the Tahiyyatul Masjid. So we deduce from this hadith that there is no sunnah prayed before the salah or after the salah of the Eid if it is performed in the musalla. And of course, this is, as we mentioned previously, it is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ to pray in the musalla, in the open, not in the masjid, unless there is, only once the Prophet ﷺ, he performed the salah in the masjid, because it was a rainy day. It was a rainy day. But apart from that, all the time the Prophet ﷺ was performing and conducting the Eid in the open, in the musalla. So there is no sunnah before the Eid. the Islamic ruling of the Eid. Of course, there are various opinions and among the jurists, but the most authentic opinion that Salatul Eid, the ruling of it, it is fard. Yes, maybe this sounds a little bit strange, but this is the truth. It is obligatory. And this is the opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah ta'ala, that as mentioned in the Hashia of Ibn Abidin. And the evidence for this is the hadith which is in Sunan Abu Dawood and Ibn Majah. What is the evidence? We are not just because we want people to suffer or to feel inconvenient, we adopted the opinion of Abu Hanifa. No, because the opinion of Abu Hanifa is supported and augmented with the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. So here, the Prophet ﷺ, he said in this hadith, he said, in this day, because here the Eid happened to be on Friday. So he said, in this day of yours, 2 Eids have coincided. 2 Eids have coincided. So whoever wishes, then the Eid prayer suffices for him. That would be sufficient. And cancels out the Friday prayer. But we are going to offer the Friday prayer. So here you can see that the Eid, if you pray the Eid, the Friday prayer is cancelled. You can go home and sleep. Huh?
It's not obligatory.
It is the Eid, the what we call the Friday is not obligatory anymore, because you already prayed the Eid. If you want to go to the masjid, there is no harm, but you are not obliged. That means if I don't attend the Eid, I am not sinful, and I am not going to be held accountable on that day. So here the Eid cancels the Friday prayer, cancelled it out. And we know the Friday prayer and the ruling regarding the Friday prayer, it is fard. It is obligatory. And if the Eid prayer is sunnah, how the sunnah can cancel the fard? It is impossible. It is impossible that sunnah cancels the fard. So now we conclude that the Eid prayer is fard, that's why it cancelled another fard and cancelled it out. And this is the argument of Imam Abu Hanifa, and this is the opinion also of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and Shawkani and other scholars of Islam. So the most authentic opinion is that the ruling related pertaining to the Eid prayer, that it is obligatory. Not only that, the Prophet ﷺ, as you know, as Atiyah said, that he commanded us to bring the women to the salah. Even those, the virgins and those, the most chaste, the watul khudur, this is, of course, nowadays, it's not there anymore. May Allah guide the Muslim girls. That the Muslim girls in the past, they would remain in their houses, they would not be roaming around, so no one would see them only on that day, her husband or her family. So, but on this particular day, they also should come to attend the Eid. And also women in their menses, and also women who just delivered, they should come and attend the Eid. And some of the women, they said, "Oh, Prophet of Allah, we don't have garments and cloaks." He said her sister should also accommodate her under her cloak, under her garment. And she should attend the Eid. So you can see that even in such cases, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, you should come to the Eid. So the most authentic opinion, inshallah, and the strongest opinion, that the Eid prayer is fard, it is wajib, it is obligatory. And the time of the Eid, it is always when the sun rises above the horizon. The hadith says the distance or the length of 3 spears. 3 spears, which is almost in meters, 3 meters. So when the sun is above the horizon, that's how we should start the salah. We should not start the salah when the sun is rising, because that is the sun worshippers at that time, they face the sun and they worship the sun. That's why Muslims are not allowed to pray at such times, because the sun worshippers, they worship the sun when the sun is rising, and also when it is setting. Also, there is no adhan and iqamah. neither adhan nor iqamah for Salatul Eid. We just start the Salah. No adhan, no iqamah. If, for instance, a person now starts to make adhan or iqamah for the Salatul Eid, we say this is bid'ah. This is an innovation. Because the Prophet ﷺ at his time, there wasn't adhan for the Eid and there wasn't iqamah for the Eid. And we are obligated and obliged to follow the Prophet ﷺ because he is our example and we have to take the deen from the Prophet ﷺ, not that we innovate and fabricate our own ways. Yes. Also, as we explained in the previous topic, the performance of the Eid prayer. And then the khutbah. So the khutbah, it is sunnah. So you are not obligated or obliged to attend it. Immediately after praying the salah, you can step out. You can go, no problem. But it's preferable and recommended to listen to the khutbah. That's why during the Umayyads days, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, because people, they were not, they didn't like the Umayyads, and so what he did, he brought the khutbah before the salah. Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, what he did, he made the khutbah before the salah to force the people to listen to him. To force the people to attend the khutbah and listen to him. And the Sahaba, they objected, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, etc. He said, people, they don't listen to us. But the ruling regarding the khutbah, it is only sunnah. And so if you stay for the khutbah, it's better. If you are busy, you can leave. And of course, it should not be, the khutbah should not be broken into two parts. Some people, they make the khutbah of the Eid like the khutbah of the Friday, the Jum'ah, which is wrong. It is only one speech, one khutbah, one speech continuously. Imam Nawawi said, and other scholars say, that the khutbah of Eid is not broken up into two parts with a period of sitting in between like the Friday khutbah. So it is only one. And we begin the khutbah with praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not by saying the takbir. Because, it is common among Muslim countries that the imams, they always begin and commence the khutbah with the takbir. The sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, no. He would begin it with praising Allah, inna alhamdulillah, etc. Just what is known as khutbat al-haja, that the Prophet ﷺ normally commences his khutbahs or events with it. Also, on the Eid day, we enjoy ourselves. We take children to places and we visit each other and try to also strengthen the ties. And we should not sever and cut the ties of the womb. If there is we have a problem with anyone, we have to visit them and say it is over. We are brothers and sisters, etc. So we should not have that grudge and ill feelings in our hearts towards any Muslims. And before we conclude and open for question and answer session, I would like also to shed some light that some people, they have concocted or made that on the Eid day, people, after the Salah, immediately they rush to the graveyards, to the cemetery, to visit the dead people and the graves. And that's not the Sunnah. It is Sunnah to visit the graveyards at any other time, but to just give it, to make it unique and peculiar, and to single out that day of the Eid and make it special for visiting the graveyards, that's not the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And I'm sure all Muslims all over the world, they love the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, so they should abide to the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and follow the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase our knowledge in His deen and increase the love of the Sunnah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And now we'll open inshallah the floor for questions. So questions are welcome. Yes.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Please Sheikh, can we celebrate the holidays or Eids of non-Muslims?
Okay. Alhamdulillah. The answer, no. The short answer is no. We are not allowed to do that, to celebrate the feasts or the Eids of the non-Muslims. But we need to elaborate on this point, because as we mentioned previously, all the Eids, they have religious notion. and significance associated with it. So, for instance, some Muslims, out of their own ignorance, they celebrate Christmas, for instance. And they think that Christmas is the birthday of Isa alayhi salam, or Jesus Christ, peace and blessings of our Lord upon him. When in reality, the Christmas is one of the feasts of the heathens, the Romans, the pagans. So how you celebrate Christmas, and which is a feast and Eid of the pagans, the Romans before Islam, and that before Christianity. And only when the king Constantine, he embraced Christianity, he had brought it along with him into Christianity. So when we say Merry Christmas to the Christians, that is wrong. Because that means that we agree that this is the birth of Christ. And this Christmas has a connection with the birth of Christ. It doesn't have any connection with the birth of Christ. It is a reality, historically, it is a feast of the pagans. It's the feast of the pagans. So how we celebrate the feast of the pagans and idol worshippers. Also, for instance, the Halloween. People, Muslims also, they celebrate Halloween. Or they celebrate the Thanksgiving or Valentine's Day. You know Valentine's Day, yeah? Okay. The youngsters love day and pink, and everyone is wearing roses all over. No, that is wrong. You know, Valentine's Day is invented by Saint Valentine. Saint Valentine is the one who invented this. Okay? So we should know the background of such events or such feasts. How you celebrate something, because Muslims, unfortunately, they, especially the youngsters and the youth, they don't know this. So we say, no, you are Muslims. You should be proud of your faith, and you should not imitate people blindly. You should take Prophet Muhammad ﷺ as your example. As your example. Follow him, and don't follow those who went astray, those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala led them astray. Also, birthdays. Muslims also, they celebrate birthdays of their children, or birthday of saints, etc. That has no room in Islam. Because this deen, we have to understand the spirit of Islam. The spirit of Islam, that we should abide and follow the Prophet ﷺ. Okay? So the Prophet ﷺ, he neither celebrated. He didn't celebrate his birthday. He didn't celebrate, the companions, they didn't celebrate the birthday of the Prophet ﷺ. The 4 Imams, they didn't celebrate this. The first one who invented the celebration of the birthday of the Prophet ﷺ were the Fatimites. And you know who the Fatimites are, what they did to Egypt in particular. Okay? We know that. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He loves Egypt and He loves the people of Egypt, He saved them from the grip of the Fatimites. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by sending Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, who brought Egypt back to the fold of the Sunnah and the fellowship of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we should know, and we should be proud. We should not fall into the trap where the shaitan will pull our leg into. Next question, please. Yes.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear Sheikh, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May Allah honor you. I'd like to ask, in some Muslim countries, some people are accustomed to giving children money. Was this a practice of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions? May Allah be pleased with them?
You mean on Eid Day?
Yeah.
All right. This is just a custom, and it is a habit, and there is nothing wrong with it. Okay? We should know the ruling in the Sharia that the customs and habits of people, they are permissible. This is the golden rule. Al-aslu fi aadat al-nas al-ibaha. That all the customs and habits of the people are allowed, permissible, unless they are in conflict with the Sharia. If then there is a conflict with the Sharia, then we say this is haram. We should not do it. But as long they are within, no problem. There were many good customs, good habits the Arab had, and the Prophet ﷺ, he approved of that. Like generosity, bravery, etc. So these good qualities, the Prophet ﷺ, he approved of that. So this is nothing wrong. Indeed, we make children, yes, inshallah, we make children very, very happy. We make the children happy on that day. So, in conclusion, inshallah, we celebrate that day, and we, inshallah, pray to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to unite the ummah upon the truth. And inshallah, the next Eid, the ummah will be one hand, inshallah. We hope that the whole ummah will come one hand, inshallah, and we hope that one day we'll pray in the Aqsa, inshallah. May Allah hasten the liberation of the Aqsa. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.